Welcome to a new episode of Rider, Blades and Bonsai with a blade movie again. This is the first of, I hope, multiple to follow in the series of Friday Fishknife. My favorite, absolute favorite type of knife is the fish knife. I love traditional knives. I told you this before, but my favorite pattern, as they call it, is the fish knife. Second favorite pattern is the Barlow, but we are going to dive into the Barlow in another movie. I love fish knives. Why? I have no idea because I don't. I'm not a fisherman. I don't fish with a fishing pole, with a net, or whatever. I never had the patience for this, but I love the fish knife. And why? I think because of the beautiful shape. It's a very, as I say, it's a very elegant knife. It has a long, slim blade, a little bit of a curvature in the knife. So I love fish knives. This is not my selection of fish knives. This is only a small selection of fish knives I have. I have a lot of them, so we are going to, each Friday, we are going to publish a movie about my fish knives. I said already, my favorite pattern of knives, type of knives, is the fish knife. My favorite manufacturer of knives is Colonial. Why? I have no idea, but I love Colonial knives. Which is a little bit of a challenge for somebody who lives in Europe, because here in Europe you hardly can find any Colonial knives. Sometimes you can find one on the internet offered for sale here in Europe, but most most of them, of course, are sold in America. And I know in flea markets and stuff like that, you can find a lot of Colonial knives, also a lot of fish knives. But I don't live in America, so I have to look for them on eBay and find them, for example, or find them here by chance. So these, as to celebrate the first Friday fish knife, I'm going to show you my Colonial fish knives. Colonial is a little bit difficult if you talk about aging the knives, because they never used any type of tank stamp where you could read the age. For example, with case, with buck, you can date the knives according to the tank stamp. With imperial, you can date the knives according to the tank stamp, not the exact year, but a number of years, a period. This tank stamp stands for this period, this tank stamp stands for that period. Colonial never did this. So the only thing you can use dating those knives is your knowledge and your memory. This is the first one. A beautiful knife. According to the way they built this, I think it's an earlier knife. You can see here, Colonial Providence Road Island. How do I know this is a fish knife? Well, look at this. Not only. Fish knives, for those people who don't know this, fish knives often have this. This is what they called a descaler. So you can use this to to go over with to go over the fish and to remove the scales. There are two types of fish knives. One with the first type is the type with one blade, which is the knife and the descaler in one blade. And then sometimes here, this one doesn't have this, but sometimes here you have the hook removal. This knife has, as a lot of fish knives have, this knife has the fish knife, the blade. Oh, that's why I don't like those bales, but okay. And it has the separate descaler, almost always accompanied by the bottle remover and the hook remover. So this you can use to remove the hook out of the mouth of the fish, and this you can open the bottle opener to open your beer bottle, because if you fish, you have to have a beer, right? So this is the knife. It's a beautiful knife. A lot of people already can see by the handle, only by looking at the handle, that this is a Colonial, because Colonial has very typical handle material. This, of course, is a plastic handle, but it's a nice knife. It lies very good in your hands. It's a nice knife. The second one is almost the same, but it doesn't have the separate descaler. So it only has one blade. It doesn't even have a descaler here, but only one blade, but it's still a fish knife. If it wouldn't have this signature, then people would probably call it a toothpick, because a toothpick is exactly the same design, but because this has the emblem of fish knife, I can show it here with my fish knives. So these are the one difference between this one and the first one is doesn't have a separate descaler, and the second, it doesn't have a bail. Then we are going to this one. This is also a fish knife. Please focus. Yes, this is also a fish knife. Beautiful fish knife, as you can see, Colonial Providence, USA. I cleaned these knives, but I tend to not remove all the patina. So this is a carbon steel blade, and I like it when there is a little bit patina left on the blade, because it shows the age and it shows character. It's a beautiful knife. This one is, as you can see, a little bit more small. But still, it's a good hold in the hand, and I love this knife. Looks very beautiful. The handle is in very good condition. Sometimes those handles shrink a bit, and then you get a gap between the handle and the bolsters, but this one is very nice. No damages on the handle, nothing. Very nice knife. Then there is this one. I bought it because of the handle. I love the handle. It has one blade with the descaler in the blade, but as you can see, somebody used it and the blade broke off. I tried to give it a little bit of a round tip. As you can see, Colonial Providence Road Island. And there's something more, but Providence. Yeah. So this is a pity that this blade broke off. Maybe I could try and put a new blade in, a blade from another broken knife, but I'm not too enthusiastic about doing that because you remove a very distinct feature of the knife, and the knife then isn't original anymore. So I prefer it to be damaged than replace it with a knife which is not the exact blade which is supposed to be in the knife. I mean, if I can find a knife with exactly the same blade, with the same tank stamp, with the descaler here and the long nail neck, well, then it's the same, and you could replace it, but I'm not too fond of it. I love the handle. Then I think this one is even more old. Colonial was very famous for their advertisement knives, and if you read the book from the book written by a son of one of the founders, or the grandson of one of the founders. I will talk a little bit more about this in one of my upcoming videos. Then you know that this whole advertisement knives made up for a very, very big part of the income of Colonial knives. This is a two-blade knife, Colonial Providence, USA. You see is the tank stamp, very nice blade, and it has the descaler with the hook remover and the bottle opener. Beautiful knife, still has a very good snap. I don't know how to date this because, as I said, Colonial knives are very difficult to date. This is the back side of the knife, or the back of the knife. Beautiful. Multi-steel company. They did this. They had, not only did they have fishing knives, but they had a lot of different type of knives where they put advertisement there as an order from a company, and the company would give them to customers. Colonial wasn't the only one who did it. Multiple companies did it. Imperial was a company who also did a lot of advertisement on knives, and I will show that in another video. I think, but this is purely my guess, that this is the oldest one of my Colonial fish knives. I love this handle also. Beautiful, beautiful handle. Really beautiful. One blade. The blade is totally intact, as you can see. Totally intact. The tank stamp. The descaling part of the blade. So it's a beautiful knife. I really love this knife. I think one of my most beautiful fishing knives. I love this. Also a big knife, good to hold in your hand, So it's and a very, very nice snap. Well, this was my first Friday Fish Knife edition. I hope you enjoyed it. Please press the like button if you like this video, and hopefully see you next time. Bye bye.